Bosko the Musketeer is a Warner Brothers cartoon from 1933. This is directed by Hugh Harman with a voice cast including Rochelle Hudson, Rudolf Ising, the King's Men, and Johnny Murray. And it's absolutely fine. There isn't anything about this that didn't work, but the subject matter doesn't really interest me that much, so it's definitely not a personal favourite. But I do like the narrative structure. Bosko goes over to visit Honey, and the next thing we know, he's using his umbrella as if it's a sword, not towards Honey, but just in her presence. And then he starts to act out the Three Musketeers, and then we see that on screen, and we have a location shift, and the characters' costumes change, and he's actually holding a sword now rather than an umbrella. And I think the transition there worked really well. And the animation for the scene with the Three Musketeers is very well done. We have a lot of different characters, and I think the editing between the characters is very effective as well. The music is quite good, and the pacing of the story is very effective. I never felt like it was dragging. I didn't think it was slowing down, and I don't think it was too quick. I don't know why I needed to over-explain that, but there we are. The pacing is fine. The animation quality is pretty good, visually quite engaging. As I said, we have a costume change when we go over to the actual narrative of the Three Musketeers, and I think that looked pretty good. I think Bosko looked pretty good in his costume, so I don't have any complaints about it. I think it is just for me. I'm not that bothered about the Three Musketeers. It's not something that I particularly care for, so the narrative itself was never really going to appeal to me that much. But at the same time, I can see that it's actually a pretty decent cartoon. We have a good narrative structure. I like the narrative within a narrative. I think it's handled very well. We have a great cast of characters. Bosko looks great, particularly with the outfit change. And actually, I found it to be quite charming that he was using his umbrella as a sword. I thought it was very, very sweet. And the scenes we get with Honey and Bosko together were quite good. If I had to find something where there's room for improvement, I do think the beginning was a little bit repetitive, with Bosko skipping through these fields of flowers. I think they could have maybe quickened that up a little bit, or even got to the point a bit more quickly, but it didn't take up too much time, even with that being said. So it's fine. I can't find any significant problem with it. I didn't completely love it, but I think that's definitely more just because I'm not that bothered about the subject matter, but viewing it as objectively as possible, it seems like a pretty good cartoon with some good animation. I'd love to know what you think of it, whether you're a Three Musketeers fan or not. I guess the point there is that you don't need to be a Three Musketeers fan to enjoy it. I think there's a decent amount of good things in this for it to still be pretty entertaining. Not my favourite Bosko, but still not too bad.